Hello everyone. Today I have a great pleasure to introduce our new member, Carmina, who is now based in Florence in Italy. And she's the founder of the very interesting company La Luce. And,
Buongiorno.
buongiorno, buongiorno.
Grazie a te. Thank you so much for having me, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here and to get to know other members of this community as well.
Yeah, so I'm very curious how you come up in Italy and if you can share a little bit more about your background and what is your story.
Yeah, I would love to. So my background is actually in counseling traumatology, and I was in the United States Air Force. So I worked in a program of psychological health there, where I ran programs such as suicide prevention, sexual assault prevention, and response. And so my background has led me down a path of helping others heal their trauma. And what I learned, and I also am a survivor of sexual trauma myself. And so what I've learned along that journey is the importance also of integrating spiritual growth with the psychological importance. And so what I've done now is have started this company La Luce, which means the light in Italian, and to help individuals, especially female entrepreneurs, that are struggling with challenges such as self-love and confidence, anxiety, depression, panic, PTSD, relationship trauma, sexual trauma. But I help them integrate that with their spiritual growth. So right now I've been more one-to-one, but what I want to do is make a broader global impact. And so I am opening up to a group training that is going to be launching on September 1st. And it's called Heal Your Soul in 90 Days. And we'll talk about that later. But so that will be my first group that I'll be helping. And what I do and how I work is, I work with especially female entrepreneurs that are facing or have faced burnout, that are trying to find that work-life balance, that really don't want therapy so much, that want more kind of like the solutions to the problems. They don't want to necessarily get into all of the past trauma. So what I do is I work with them through positive psychology and life coaching tools, while also integrating energy work. And so I'm a Reiki master teacher as well. So I can do distance energy healing, and I help them align their chakras and become more in tune spiritually, to connect to their higher self, where they start understanding a little bit more of their own inner guidance with peace. And then this helps them also move forward in areas such as romance, intimacy, and sex. So some of my ideal clients are women that have guilt regarding sex, whether it was a belief system or sexual trauma or divorce breakups. But I want to help them start living in the energy of the divine feminine energy and embracing the beautiful aspect of sexuality. So we work on things like limiting belief systems and removing negative emotions that are attached to cultural belief systems, essentially.
And you are placed in such a beautiful place in the center of Italy, Toscana and Florence. So I think there are also many inspiration for romantic and for the love. And
maybe true.
So your clients are mostly from Europe, from Italy, or you have people from all over the world?
Yeah, it's such a great question. I am building a global community. So I have clients in Ireland, United Kingdom, Canada, United States, Australia, pretty much anyone that has an English-speaking base. And I also can do work in Italian, and I have a couple Spanish-speaking clients as well. But I find myself working mainly with English-speaking clients, I think, because it's my mother tongue language as well, and so it's much more efficient for me.
It's interesting that you are now based in Italy and originally you are from the US. So what will be your observation
there's similarities and there's differences. So let's incorporate like religion for one. So both countries have a strong religious foundation. In Italy, it's primarily Catholic. And in the United States, there's Catholicism as well as Christianity. And so within the religions, there is a belief system that frowns upon sex, essentially, that kind of limits us from expressing our sexual energy, which is actually so important even for women in business to kind of live within their sexuality, because when you are expressing yourself and comfortable sexually, you're able to start manifesting things. And so through sexuality, through intimacy, through orgasm, actually is one of the times that you are most in alignment with pleasure, and in the law of attraction, you have the capability of actually manifesting more. So what I see in both cultures is that there is a suppression around sex, but I also see that in the United States, I think that we are ahead of things sexually. So in that, people are more open to having sex outside of marriage or outside of commitment. And I see that's trickling over here into Europe. So like Tinder, for example, started a few years back, and it made its way over here, and you've got all the dating apps and things like that where people are starting to express themselves that way. However, there's also a different element that you have to be feeling good about what you're doing. So if you're feeling any guilt about it, then that is lowering your vibration and limits you in your business and in your success, for example, in that area. But I would say that there's, I think in Europe, between like Italy and Greece, there's a lot more acceptance also on group sex and on like orgies and things like that, because that was actually a spiritual practice, centuries ago. Mm-hmm. And so it's fascinating to see. And I had a great conversation yesterday with some locals here that were talking actually about the suppression around sexuality. So it still exists, and especially over here in Europe, I think that people are publicly much more suppressed, but privately more open, if that makes any sense. Because being part of small little communities, they're afraid of what people are going to be saying about them. They don't want their business out and about. And so they're not living in complete authenticity where they're speaking their truth. Where I think in America, people are a little bit more open and out there about what it is that they're willing to explore. But also because I think America is more of an individual community, and Italy is more of a community-based cultural society. So that would be my take on it.
Such a great insight. So how this current health situation impact your business, and how impact the problems which your clients might have?
So how I'm working right now with my clients is through this social distancing, what I'm really helping them focus on is themselves right now, and building their self-love and acceptance of themselves. Because if we can't really love ourselves and live in our authenticity, we're never really going to build the relationship that is our dream relationship, right? So if we can't step into our own love and light, then it's going to continue to have challenges for women. Okay. And so what I do is I'm helping them through the one-on-one coaching currently, but like I said, the group coaching will step in here soon. Mm-hmm. And it's about really getting rid of those limiting belief systems, or understanding these, I refer to them as soul contracts. So you were born to a certain family and a certain belief system and culture. You had this experience, and I help them understand how each one of these like traumatic experiences in their lives actually has helped them develop into the beautiful version of that they are now, and that they just need to step into that and share their love and their light, because at the end of the day, we all want to be loved, appreciated, accepted, respected, and valued. And so by really empowering women to step into their truth. And so I do that, I can do that through the remote healing sessions, through the energy work, and through the psychological and spiritual coaching.
Yeah, and I was also thinking about the how to build a new relationship with the people, because we cannot go out as we used to, and so what will be how people can overcome, how female entrepreneurs and your target audience can overcome these limitations we are now all facing?
Okay, so this is, we are in this period of video chats and Zoom and all these things. So I think that there's a component to building intimacy as well as sex too. So in building intimacy is much different. You're really focusing on some of your emotions. And I think that when I'm working with my clients, I'm encouraging them to speak their truths in their relationships. And so if they're in long distance relationships, or they're separated, even from family members, or whatever it might be, from loved ones, and romantic partners, but really about building their relationships through communication and vulnerability, and expressing themselves, their needs and desires. And so whatever component that might be. So in terms of, let's say you're in a romantic or you're wanting a romantic situation, I think there's another way that you can express your sexuality through building the intimacy in having these video chats, and kind of investing maybe some quality time to get to know each other, and then expressing yourself and what your fantasies are and what you would desire, and doing so without any shame or guilt. And you'll be surprised at the responses from the other partner, because I think what happens is so many people are afraid to speak what their actual truth is, or their fantasies or their desires, because they're afraid of shame from, or being shamed by somebody else, or these beliefs. But I think that what I have found, and what my clients have found, is the more they become open and vulnerable to that, the more they start seeing like-minded individuals. And it's a wonderful thing, because once you start building that intimacy, then you step into that authentic version of yourself, and you're speaking your truth, and you start attracting so much more positivity into your life.
Great insight again. Can you also let us know how people can enroll in your program, which is going to start at the beginning of September? So do you have a landing page or Facebook group? So how people actually can know more information about the program, and so how that works?
Absolutely. So they can get more information about the program from my website, which is www.laluce.com. And there is a nice little pop-up right there as well for people if they're interested in the Heal Your Soul program. But there's also a specific tab that they'll find where it lays out the program and all of the benefits, and who it's ideally aligned for.
So what do you do personally to keep your energy high and to re-energize yourself, your sexual energy, everything? Like, what do you have in daily routine? So
that's fine. I mean, there's no reason. I'm about living in your authenticity, so there's no reason why I shouldn't speak my truth. So I actually do have morning routines, and I also actually do a lot of self gratification in the morning. Usually is part of my morning routine. And it also helps me with my manifestation efforts when I'm setting my intentions for the day. I also do a lot of energy work. So I do Reiki, right? So I do self Reiki, and I use crystals as well. And I use specific crystals that are embedded with, or that are programmed rather, for masculine energy and feminine energy. And so I line them on my body and do Reiki and take the energy healing from the symbols, from as well as the stones. And so that's what I do, and I do that every day.
How you get inspiration for your company name, La Luce? What inspire you?
This is such a great question, and thank you for asking that. So, La Luce means the light in Italian, and I am a light worker and a spiritual practitioner, but also as a psychologist, what I work with is helping people out of darkness and finding the light, finding their smile again, finding the joy, and starting to radiate the inner child that they have suppressed or that they feel has been damaged. And so I really work with people to bring them back, to coax them out into the light again, and so they can start radiating love and light to other people.
Carmina, thank you so much for bringing the lights and bright to our community, and we are all very happy to have you. For all female entrepreneurs who are watching this video, please reach out to Carmina or check it out. More information on her website about the masterclass which is going to start from September. Carmina, thank you so much. It was lovely to speak with you, and we will talk again soon, I hope.
I hope so too. Thank you so much, Ed, and ciao tutti.